When is a 25% tariff not a 25% tariff? Much has been written about the trade war of 2025. Plenty of ink spilled about the drama in the White House and the economic consequences playing out across the world. Far less has been said about another of the profound impacts Donald Trump's tariffs have had on businesses across America. They have left many of them utterly befuddled and deeply confused. The problem isn't just that firms are now having to pay a whole load of tariffs on stuff they're importing. It runs deeper than that. In many cases, those firms are struggling to work out how much those tariffs ought to be. For Gary Grigowski, vice president and co-founder of Team One Plastics, this came into sharp focus when he was in the process of ordering a new die, an expensive steel mold the company uses in their machines to turn raw plastics into plastic shapes. Team One, based a couple of hours outside Detroit, Michigan, is one of the many critical cogs in the American car-making machine. Nearly every car made in America has some of their plastics somewhere under its surface, plastics made with those dies. Dies are among the most important tools in the car-making industry. For metalworking companies, they are the tools they slide into presses that allow them to turn sheets and rods into car parts. For plastics specialists like Team One, they are the critical components that allow them to make everything from engine filter housings to the light fittings that go under car dashboards. But while the U.S. used many years ago to have a thriving die and mold sector, nearly all of the companies have long since shut down or migrated their operations overseas. The upshot is if Team One needs to make a new plastic part and hence needs to order a new die with which to make it, these days it has little choice but to order it from overseas, usually from India or Canada. Since Indian imports were, at the time of writing, facing 50% tariffs, 25% reciprocal tariffs, plus another 25% to reflect the fact that Indian refineries were still importing large quantities of Russian crude, Team One has had little choice but to order its dies from Canada. But this was where the headache began. Since the president had imposed special tariffs on Canadian aluminium and steel, the dies, made of steel, should theoretically have incurred a 25% tariff. That at least was what one of Team One's Canadian suppliers said. But another Canadian supplier came up with a clever wheeze. Since the steel it had used to make its die originally came from the U.S., theoretically that might mean it qualified as a derivative product, implying it would fall into another lower tariff basket. But since he